Hi and welcome back to your mat. My name is Anna, the Holy Banana, the whollyogi, and today I am bringing you another class for our chakra series. Today we're talking about the sacral chakra. This chakra is located right at the base of our spine, at the sacrum. It is represented by the color orange and represents where our creativity and emotions flow. So today we're going to be working on opening it up and creating space for that energy to flow through. All we'll need is a block, and we'll get started in a child's pose. So when you're ready, bring those knees nice and wide on your mat, hips back to the heels, and forehead rooted down. Find a moment of stillness and that space at the base of your spine. Feel it pulling back with every exhale. Close off the mouth, breathe through the nose. As we move through our practice today, keep your energy and your awareness anchored at that sacral chakra. Slowly start to walk those hands into the knees and round yourself up. If you're at the back of the mat, walk yourself slightly forward. Bring the feet wider than the hips so that the hips can you can bring those hips down between the feet. So you're rooted onto your sits bones. Coming into a hero, we're going to walk ourselves back maybe to our forearms in our hero. And maybe if we're open, all the way down to our back in our hero. Make sure that you don't feel any pinching in the low back. This should feel very therapeutic. If it doesn't, come out a notch, coming back to your forearms or your palms. Feeling this stretch in the front of the body, but also feeling this connection between the earth and the sacrum at the base of your spine. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. Then start to bring yourself out the way that you came in. Coming first to your forearms if you're all the way down, and coming all the way up if you're on your forearms. From here, let's take our hands down underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And let's take some cat-cow, round through the spine, dropping the tummy, and then exhale, come into your cat. Inhale. And exhale, that sacrum, the point at the end of your spine. That is lifting in our cow and then tucking in our cat. The rest of the body is still moving in those natural movements of cat-cow. Try to keep your awareness on that point at the base of the spine. Good. From there, bring yourself back to neutral. Tuck the toes, hips backing up. Come into your down dog. Again, pulling from that base of the spine. From here, we're going to inhale this left leg up behind us. And exhale, knee to nose, step this left foot between the hands. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. And hold here for a moment. From there, open up warrior two for a brief transition. Hands over the feet. And then from here, straighten through that left knee. Hips go back as shoulders go forward into our Trikonasana, triangle pose. So left hand is inside that left shin, right shoulder over the left shoulder, hand reaching to the ceiling. Try to push that left hip over so it's stacked right underneath the right hip. And then bend back into your warrior two. And back into your high lunge. Good, let's lower that right knee down. Frame the left foot, pull yourself back into a half split. And bring yourself forward. Back into your lunge. Let's take those hands down. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, step yourself back to plank. And take your chaturanga modified or full. I'll take a modified here, demonstrating lowering the knees. Elbows brush the sides. Pull the shoulders back into your baby cobra and then release back down, pressing it back through table and down dog. If you have a full chaturanga, feel free to take it. So we're back in our down dog. We'll take that on the other side, inhaling the right leg up behind us. And exhaling, knee to nose, step that right foot between the hands. Come into your high lunge. Hands over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Knit those ribs together, and this sacrum at the base of our spine is pulling down to the floor. From here, open up that warrior two. Same thing. Sacrum is pulling straight down, hands over the feet. From there, straighten into that right leg. Hips go back. If your hands were on your hips, you'd feel the right hip lower, left hip lift. Hands reach forward. And then pivot into our Trikonasana. Right hand rests gently inside the right calf. Left hip over right. And left shoulder over right. From there, bend back into your warrior two. And come back into your high lunge, maintaining that balance and center underneath the spine. Then lower that left knee down. And let's frame this right foot, pull it back half split. And bring it forward. Palms down. Lift the back knee, step it back to plank. Take your chaturanga. And meet in our down dog. Beautiful. We're going to take that one more time each side. Inhaling left leg up. And exhaling knee to nose. Step that left foot between the hands. Inhale, high lunge. You know where we're going now. Allow this to be a bit more fluid. Open up warrior two. Hands over the feet. Straighten through that left leg. Trikonasana. Hips back. Shoulders forward. Windmill those arms. And come back into our warrior two. And back into our high lunge. Lower that right knee. Hands frame that left foot. Pull it back. Half split. And come back forward. Hands press down. Tuck the back toe. Lift the back knee. Step it back to plank. And take your chaturanga. And meet in our down dog. From here, inhale that left leg up. So sorry, we already did our left side. Let's inhale that right leg up behind us and exhale, knee to nose. Step that right foot between the hands. Inhale, high lunge. And open it up, warrior two. Straighten through that right leg. Trikonasana, hips back, shoulders forward, windmill those hands. And come back into warrior two. And back into our high lunge. And lower that left knee down. Hands frame that right foot. Pull the hips back to the left heel. And come back forward, forward fold over this right bent knee. From there, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, step yourself back to plank. And your last chaturanga. And meet in a down dog. And before we come back to the floor on our backs, let's walk these feet forward. Come into a forward fold for a moment here. Feel the hips, that base of the spine, pulling up to the ceiling as our head, neck, shoulders hang. Good. Toes come off the mat, heels stay on, elbows inside the thighs. Come into your Malasana Yogi squat. You always have a block here. If you need some support, you have 3 heights on that block. That sacrum, the base of the spine, is pulling back to keep that spine long. Good. And from there, if you have the block, lower down. And we're going to come into a boat. So hands can support the backs of the thighs, shins come parallel to the floor. Hands can come out to the sides if you want a little bit more in the core, and you could even play with straightening the legs. Notice chest is tall. I'm not caving into the back here. I'm keeping it nice and tall. Legs straight, maybe arms go up overhead. Take the variation that serves you today. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And take those hands behind the legs. Rock yourself along the spine. And make sure you have this block with you as you rock down the final time to a flat back. Feet are flat in the floor, knees bent, push into the heels and lift the hips to slip this block underneath them. You can keep these knees bent, feet flat, or you can extend these legs long. Feel that sacrum shining into the block, and the block shining back, opening these hips towards the ceiling. Take some deep breaths. Noticing the energy around your sacral chakra. Can you surround that space with the color orange? Bring the intention to release and create flow. We tend to lock our emotions in the lower chakras. They resonate at lower frequencies. And so our negative energies, our negative emotions tend to get lodged and stuck there. We need to release them and let them go. A practice like this allows for that. If our legs are long, bring the feet flat to the floor, knees bent, lift the hips off of that block, pushing into the heels, and then lower all the way back down to the floor. Good, knees into the chest, take our hands to the feet, or pointer and middle finger to the big toe, take your happy baby, that base of the spine, pull to the floor. This type of practice is one that you can feel free to go back and repeat as many times as you'd like. You could repeat this for a whole hour to make up a good practice of opening up that sacral chakra. Maybe you do it once, maybe you do it twice. Listen to your body. If you're craving more, as we wrap this up, go back to the beginning and repeat. Come to this flow whenever you feel like you need a release. Bring these legs together and bring the feet together. Knees out into our Supta Baddha Konasana. Taking a moment of stillness to feel what that practice has done for us. And gently take those hands outside the legs. Bring the knees in. And rock yourself up onto a seat. Shoulders stacked over hips. Rooting down underneath those sits bones, maybe moving some flesh out of the way. Take those hands to the legs. And just notice. Thumbs can come to heart center. Feel those thumbs brush that heart center. Reminder that this practice goes with us wherever we go. Again, at this moment, feel free to go back to the beginning and repeat as many times as you need. I'll leave you here to your practice. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. I look forward to seeing you on the mat again soon. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out all of the other chakra balancing videos that I have created in my online membership. All of the information to access is in the description below. I'll see you on the mat again soon. Namaste.